Welcome to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the Morgan Knows Podcasting Network. You're in the ring with Jimmy, Rod, and Chris. And usually, at this point, I go to Chris for an old man take. But we're going to have a new segment. It's not an old man take. It's kind of like a father in a white shirt and jeans take. I think that's what we're going to go with this week, because apparently that's who Chris really enjoys watching now on wrestling. So, Chris, give me your father in a white T-shirt take, buddy. What are you booing Chris for?
I just thought he'd be more comfortable coming into the podcast the way his guy now has to come into the ring in WWE Arena. So
the face, Drew McIntyre. We'll get to that here in a second.
I got a real question before we get too far in this. And I wanted to ask you this last week, Jimmy, because I don't know.
Yeah, I was dead.
What are dirt sheets?
Just anything on the internet. The dirt sheets originated kind of back with Meltzer and things like that, where he literally had and he still does, his Wrestling Observer newsletter with all the rumors and innuendos, and this is what's really happening backstage. They're called dirt sheets back in the day.
Okay. The reason I'm asking, and yes, Rod, I am still going to defend my boy, is it true, according to these dirt sheets, that someone in Drew McIntyre's family has passed away?
I have not read anything like that. I don't think he's mentioned anything I don't think so. I don't know.
Okay. That's why I was getting at, because there are rumors, because I wanted to try to do a little digging, because I knew you guys would just come at me. I wanted to know if there was any validity to him losing a family member, and maybe that could have increased the beating that Sami Zayn so deserved.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to contend that Sami Zayn actually said something bad about Drew's family by simply asking if someone might be proud of him?
I mean, those are fighting words where I come from, Rod. You don't.
Oh my God,
I mean,
that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
That's essentially telling somebody that they're just a bum. It's like, why would your
meaning? Yeah, he called Drew McIntyre a bum to his face. He said nothing bad about his family.
Yeah. I'm just seeing, Chris. I'm just seeing like in May, so I don't really think that has anything to do with now.
All right. I mean, listen. Do I like watching my guy jump somebody up backstage? Not necessarily. But Sammy was warned. Sammy asked for this, and he got what he had coming. All right. Sammy tried to stick up for Jey Uso, has continued to stick up for Jey Uso. All right. Which clearly is the reason that Drew is going this way. I mean, I'm going to bring up a movie, Rod, because you're a movie guy. Have you seen Michael Douglas and Falling Down?
Yes. Okay. And Michael Douglas, I believe, gets in a whole heap of trouble at the end of that movie.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure what this means for your guy, Drew.
I'm saying that Drew has had it with everything that's been going on. And I can even compare it to real life. All right. We see the wrong people continuously to win all the time, get ahead all the time. And at some point you get fed up and you have to take matters into your own hands. And that means Claymoreing whoever gets in your way.
Wow, Jimmy, do you want some of this action? Because Seth Rollins and me and Chris were going to fight because it was Drew versus Seth, but now he's bringing your boy Sammy into it here, and he's saying he deserved it. Do you feel that Sami Zayn did anything to deserve the vicious beating that Drew McIntyre threw him in the backstage area? Which, by the way, faces do all the time, attack people in the backstage area.
Especially with like hoodies on and stuff. Yeah, they do that all the time. So Sami Zayn has been nothing but a kind-hearted individual for 3 years. He was part of the bloodline, for goodness sake, and tried to make everything happy and everyone get along well. And all he wants to do is have a little competition. And your boy takes advantage of an injured person. Again, something faces do all the time.
Drew knows that's fake. He hurt his leg jumping onto the mat, the most easiest and innocuous way to show you got injured. I mean, that wasn't even a real fall. It was a complete work. Drew knows this. He knows it's not hurt.
Yes, no one has had a non-contact knee and or leg injury ever in the history of sports and or sports entertainment. You are correct, Chris. I am sorry.
You're saying that this isn't a work? You're saying it's really hurt?
Are we kayfabing or not here? What the hell's going on? Of course it's not a real injury, but in the storyline it's an injury. For the love of God. Look at you trying to be like, no, it's not a real one. Of course, thank you. And you know what? Drew McIntyre doesn't carry a sword with him all over the place all the time. Doesn't do that. Okay? He's not a Celtic warrior. That's Sheamus. But anyway, listen,
we are minutes.
You got me all flustered now.
I feel like we are minutes away from Chris asking us what the definition of is. Like literally, I feel like we're just minutes away from that.
Listen, I am a fan of Drew McIntyre. Why in the world would I be upset for doing something that he believes is the right thing to do? I agree with a lot of the points he's been saying. I agree that he has beef with Jey Uso, and he even threw shade at CM Punk as well. People can leave.
Hey, could have been talking about anybody. Could have been talking about anybody.
Could have been talking about Roman Reigns too.
Watch your mouth.
Fight when you want to. I mean, Logan Paul only comes on 4 times a year. He gets a belt.
I'm sure they would have given him the United States Championship if he really wanted it. Rod, what are you hot about today?
I'm hot about Chris just literally like questioning the fabric of time and space and kayfabe and what is wrestling and why do we watch and what's entertainment and is an injury real and who's a bad guy and who's a face. Like, I mean, Chris, I don't even think Chris understands what wrestling is anymore. He's had to twist and contort himself and around so many dark corners that he never thought he'd have to go down, that I'm not even sure Chris deep down inside that shriveled old soul of his even knows what he's talking about right now, Jimmy. I don't even know what to say. I had a whole thing planned that I was going to do, and I've completely lost my train of thought here because Chris has flustered me, because I understand still wanting to embrace a heel. Okay. I love Pretty Deadly. Those dudes are a heel tag team. I'm all in on it. But the difference is I understand they're a heel tag team and I will not defend their underhanded actions. I'll say, am I happy that they go that way? No. Am I entertained by it? Yes. Do they really deserve to be number one contenders? Absolutely not. But Chris can't do that. And that's what has me angry, Jimmy.
I agree. And I'm a little hot about that too, because listen, all you have to do, Chris, is say Drew McIntyre's the heel. That's all you have to do. And guess what I'm going to say? I'm going to say he's the best thing going on Raw. He has an awesome storyline. His character is fantastic. And I just think that this is something that could propel him to that next level. But no, Chris. No. I see where he's coming from. Of course you do.
If at worst, you can consider him a vigilante. You know, somebody who is willing to break the rules to do what's right. Okay.
So the only people that use vigilante are old people, you and Vince McMahon. It was the vigilante Sting. It was the dumbest thing ever because he's not a vigilante. He's just Sting. He's not a vigilante. He's Drew McIntyre, heel.
And he's not a vigilante. He's a criminal. That's assault, Chris. It's assault.
So some big stories. Oh, Chris, quiet. So some big stories that came out. Obviously, CM Punk is back. Obviously, Randy Orton is back. One thing, though.
Obviously, you are back, Jimmy. I mean,
I am back.
That lead.
I am back as well. I was flu ridden last week for a good 4 days. It was not fun, but I was able to see some CM Punk and Randy Orton, and a couple quick things from my perspective. Randy Orton is yoked. We all know that. We all talked about that. He looks amazing. He looked like he was having fun, and having fun Randy Orton is a good Randy Orton. Now, Chris, you do have to give him, I would say give him 3 or 4 matches, honestly. He's got to get that ring rust off, and ring rust is a true thing. Like, let's say, when you ride your horse somewhere, okay, and then you don't ride it for a long time, Chris. Kind of hurts a little bit. You got to get used to it again. Get back on the saddle, if you will. Yeah. It's kind of the same thing. CM Punk coming back. I thought his return promo was great, except for the 2 words. I'm home is the dumbest thing ever. Rock said it the one time he came back. That's fine. Because he did, but he hated the WWE. WWE hated him. It's not I'm home. It's I'm sorry. Or even I'm back, whatever. That I'm sorry, I think would have been an interesting way to go around and about this. Fans were very upset he was not on Raw last night because everyone thought he was going to be. Wasn't booked for Raw, never said he was going to be on Raw, but everyone expected him to be, especially since Randy Orton is now on SmackDown. So let's talk about SmackDown. Let's talk about Randy Orton. Rod, Randy Orton on SmackDown might be the challenger for Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. Your thoughts on that?
I think that's pretty sneaky great, right? Like we talked about so many different scenarios on this podcast for it seems like years now, and I guess it is years because Roman Reigns has had the belt forever, about ways that we will finally end this story. We all know the epic rant that you went on after WrestleMania because you thought that that was a proper ending point for it right there with Cody Rhodes, right? We all know that Chris feels like there was a proper ending point for it
with Jey Uso or even with Sami Zayn.
You could have made an argument that Sami Zayn, even up in Canada, you know what I mean? Probably not really for Sami Zayn. I'm stretching there, but I'm just trying to throw a bone at Chris because he apparently now hates Sami Zayn. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is I never once considered a returning 100% blue blood, Stone Cold Lock, Hall of Famer, 14-time champion. I never even once considered a guy with the name Legend Killer. I don't know why, Jim. I want to give him me. That's my bad, but I'm embracing it now. Randy finally taking out Roman, putting a 15 notch on his belt, putting him right behind Flair and Cena, and then getting a little bit of payback because, of course, it was the bloodline and all of those folks that took Randy out. And I'd completely forgotten about it because it was 18 months ago. And in the world of professional wrestling, it's best to be a goldfish. Forget stuff that happened in the past, Chris. Every guy in the back room has a reason to hate the guy next to him. You're a goldfish. We forget about what happened in past storylines and move on.
You know what, Jay apologized. He apologized to Randy Orton. Didn't apologize to Drew McIntyre, though, did he, Chris?
No, he didn't. And let me bring this up, too, because I think this could work out in one of our favorites' favorite as well. We saw him come out at the end of that SmackDown episode, and that is L.A. Knight. I can see a team up with Orton, and from what you guys have told me, Orton is a loose cannon, and he showed that on SmackDown by giving the RKO to that guy, which was out of nowhere. I didn't expect it, but I loved it.
RKOs are always out of nowhere, just so you know.
And Nick Aldis, you were thought of.
Yes. So I can see a team up with Orton and LA Knight against the Bloodline until Orton then decides to RKO LA Knight. LA Knight still continues to be the face, and I guess Orton's always been kind of more of a heel character in the WWE than a face, right?
I would say that's accurate. Yes.
He's also even just Randy Orton.
Even when he's a face, even when he's a face, he's still kind of a heel.
When you've been around as long as Orton has, and when you reach a status, you know what I mean, like you can get away with doing whatever you want. Because again, as I talk about on this podcast all the time, I love Seth, but he's the most heelish face out there. You know what I mean? Like that's just all there is to it.
Yeah, and I've told you guys before, Orton didn't move the needle for me because I had never seen him or knew really anything about him. It wasn't until after the fact that I realized he's a 14-time belt holder, which is pretty significant in the WWE universe. And so started looking at some of his matches. He's a beast. You're right, he looked yoked. He looks ready. Let's see what he can do. I'm all for it.
Just so you know, we cannot say the word yeet with Jey Uso anymore. I believe there are some problems the WWE ran in with trademark infringement on that one. So any yeet shirts that he wore in the past will be blocked out from moving forward, just for the record on that one. So Randy Orton
Thank God for it.
I do. I'm
getting out of control.
Yeah, let's stop making yeet happen. So Randy Orton chooses SmackDown over Raw. Looks like CM Punk is going to Raw. I do like that a lot. Shout out to Crippler for really talking us through on a text thread that we have about this Orton and Roman Reigns storyline. I love the storyline. I think it writes itself up until the 1, 2, 3. You're not going to have Roman Reigns lose this at the Royal Rumble. It's not going to happen, kids. Not going to happen. It's going to happen at Mania. Against who? I don't know. We'll find out, won't we?
Jimmy, now wait a minute here. I got to press back a little bit. All right. You said you love the idea of Orton being on SmackDown and CM Punk being on Raw, but you also are someone who talks about how ridiculous the brand split is. So why are we now supposed to care about these exclusive rights, and how long will they actually be exclusive rights before, you know what I mean? So why are we wasting time? I guess is what I would say.
Yeah, we're wasting time to get ratings. That's it. To make CM Punk will be on Raw next week. People want to see him sign the contract. It just makes sense. You got two big stars coming back. One goes to one goes to another. But yes, you're right. It does not matter whatsoever.
Why couldn't Orton win the Royal Rumble and then get Roman at WrestleMania?
He could. I think they really do, though. I mean, they want to finish the story. Okay.
So you think they're
they
going to
need
let
to
Cody
finish
win the
it.
Rumble 2 years in a row?
Nah, Nakamura. His story. I want him. His story's finished. He's going to go to WrestleMania. He's going to beat Roman Reigns. That is a story that will finish, because if not for Drew, Nakamura would be the best thing going on Raw with his fight against Cody Rhodes. But that's being real quick. They don't have a December pay-per-view.
Yeah.
They're doing that next week.
I thought they'd at least cook that a bit, Jim, where they try to give
think
that
they
to
will.
us.
I think something will happen next week. A false finish, something like that, where it will then go on again, and they'll do another match or two. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of.
That was going to be a main event around a holiday. I really thought I was going to come in on that prediction and be definitely right, and now I'm worried
because I really do like what they're doing there. But to go back to your original comment, Cody Rhodes starting at number 1, going all the way through, makes sense. Win the Rumble, go to WrestleMania. But let's remember this, though. Remember this. The winner of the Royal Rumble goes to WrestleMania and fights for the championship, correct? How many championships do we have?
Do they get to choose which championship they go?
Yes, they do. There are 2 championships. The winner of the Rumble could be anybody, and then they could go against the Seth Rollins or whomever is the champion at WrestleMania for that. And then somehow a trade could happen or whatever that Cody Rhodes and Roman.
No, these are exclusive rights, Jim.
Well, there's I think Elimination Chamber is generally after, and they have number 1 contender for that as well. So anything can happen, guys.
So there's literally a universe out there where Damian Priest could win the Royal Rumble, use the Money in the Bank to take out whoever has the heavyweight title first night of WrestleMania, and then still challenge Roman for the Universal title on the second night of Mania.
Not this world, but yes, there is a world.
Is Chris advocating for Damian Priest to unify the belts?
Everything. Let's go. I love it, Chris. So yes, there is a world where Damian Priest could win the Royal Rumble and challenge Roman Reigns at WrestleMania Night 2.
So
night 1 of WrestleMania, Damian Priest could cash in against whoever's the championship match, like Seth Rollins did in the past, and be that champion, and then go into Night 2 as the champion. Yes, that could happen.
That's crazy. That would be true chaos.
I think that'd be like a King Ralph situation. You guys remember that movie King Ralph, where John Goodman became King of England because like they were taking this picture of the royal family, and then there was this freak electric fire, and like 27 people that were heir to the thrones all got wiped out, and this dude who was bowling in Cleveland then had to become the King of England. That would be the only way that they would be like, oh my God, like if for some reason a bus, like, and again, I'm not wishing this at all, but like if a bus that had like half of the roster on it just careened off of a highway, and all they were left with was Damian Priest, and they were like, oh my God, we literally have to have Damian Priest win both main events to save WrestleMania. That's the only way that would ever happen.
They'd bring up NXT people. They would even do that. You're right.
Be that guy that runs Chase U. He'd win WrestleMania.
I'm hot about something as well. How dare you not think I know every single line of King Ralph? King Ralph is a fantastic movie. I celebrate John Goodman's entire collection. Okay.
I'll do that for the listeners.
I love our movie references on wrestling. It's terrific. Kevin Owens, Logan Paul looks like an interesting matchup coming up. I think that is something that's going to elevate Kevin Owens even more. Going to elevate Logan Paul and even more too, Chris, because Kevin Owens is a terrific in-ring performer.
Yeah, listen, I mean, as much as I hate him, you got to give Logan Paul credit for putting in the work and having good matches. His matches aren't boring. His matches aren't like overly what I would call look like they're scripted or have botches in them or anything like that. So, yeah, and if you want 2 guys to punch each other in the face, it's Logan Paul and Kevin Owens, right?
Of course you would. Rod, are you still buying Evil Santos?
Oh yeah, Evil Santos is really exciting to me, right? I love the idea of a mid card guy that gets me excited, right? A guy that has a little bit of charisma, but you also see like, all right, I mean, I don't want to see Santos fighting Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins anytime soon here, but you know what I mean? Like, okay, this guy could get a feud going with Gunther that I would buy. You know what I mean? Like this guy could team up with somebody else, right? Somebody that we're not thinking of, make a turn to go be with Santos and then be a little evil for a while and draw some heat and then maybe get a little run in the tag team division. There's a lot of ways you could go with Santos, and those clothes that he wears down to the ring, immaculate. And I love the Legado del Fantasma song that now is kind of remixed as just his song. So I'm totally in. But you know me, I tend to lean heel.
Speaking of Santos Escobar and what he's going to be doing, we do have a tournament starting on SmackDown for the United States Championship. Next week, we have Dragon Lee and Santos Escobar. And then we also have Bobby Lashley and, hey, Karrion Kross. How about that?
Dusted
He's
off
wrestling
Karrion
still.
Kross. He's got long hair. I love that they've told him to get the hair long again. That's why they've kept him off TV for a while.
Karrion, I love you, brother. I hope it works out this time around. I really do. You know, the more people, the more good wrestlers you have, the better, and the more good gimmicks you have, the better. Speaking of both, we have Kairi Sane and Bianca Belair, who together I could watch matches with them all day long. Bianca Belair has to go through all of Damage Control to get to the championship. I think that's a nice storyline that's going to go on for the next few weeks.
I agree with you, but why? Just because Io Sky said so? I mean,
Yep.
that's why. All right. I mean, I
They,
guess
they got a month. They have a month to the Rumble, kids.
Yeah.
Month to the Rumble. All right.
Is
when you wear the
Bailey
gold,
going to
you
be
rule.
part of that group? Is she out, Jimmy? That's your girl. Is Bailey out of Party Crashers?
I think that I would hope. This is my fantasy booking. You know how you fantasize that Drew McIntyre is not a dastardly heel? My fantasy booking here would be Bailey does get kicked out of Damage Control, and she then teams with Flair and a Becky Lynch, and they just bring back the Horsemen, and Sasha Banks' music hits at one point in time, maybe at the Rumble, and Rod loses everything that he's ever done in his life. Sasha Banks getting paid by somebody. There's a lot of people that are free agents in 2024, including your boy Chris, and they're getting paid because it's all about the viewers, and they're getting a lot of money. So it's a good time to be a free agent in WWE and AEW.
Listen, I suppose if we're letting CM Punk back in the building, we can't keep Mercedes Moné out of the building any longer either. But I'm not a Sasha person. But if Sasha comes back and Charlotte Flair punches her in the face, I suppose I'll be cool with that.
Raw had a lot of good wrestling, and this is the Triple H era, and we enjoy it. I enjoy it. A lot of good matches on Raw. We already talked about Drew and Sammy, who really had a terrific match up. I mean, it really was for a TV.
Name me
there.
the last Sami Zayn match that wasn't awesome, Jimmy. Honestly, you can't do
and
it.
You can't. And I honestly hope this is an injury angle. It's not real, Chris. But I hope he's off for a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The guy deserves some time off. Give him the holidays. Let him go celebrate Boxing Day. I'm not even sure what day it is, but I know it's different than Christmas. So let him go off and do that.
Yes. We're a global. We have a global audience here, Rod. I'm sure somebody in the comments will let
We're
us
all
know.
inclusive, Canadians included.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you so much for that. But anyway, so yeah, Sami Zayn maybe going to be out for a little bit. Take some time off there. Seth Rollins, Jey Uso. They almost had the crowd with the second splash. Almost. I think they did. What did you think of this one, Rod?
I was a little nervous on the second splash. All right, not just the crowd. I was down here in the Morgan basement here, TMYK Studios, and trying to make sure to not wake up Mrs. Morgan, in the Vanimal, because I was getting a little excited during that match there. So Jey Uso is another one, man. Like, I sung his praises when he was a tag team competitor. This guy is the king of the near fall. I would contend that there is nobody that has a more exciting pinfall. Oh my God, is it going to happen than Jey Uso? I don't know what he does. I don't know if it's the hair. I don't know if it's the tattoos. I don't know if there's something about the tribal band that just like hypnotizes you. I don't know what it is, but the near falls of Jey Uso are chef's kiss. And so it makes for a wonderful match. But also my boy, Seth Rollins, in line for Wrestler of the Year again, back to back. So, you got to continue to give him his flowers.
So we have to figure some things out here with our titles, okay? We have the women's tag team championships, so we're not going to get into that very much, but those have not gone anywhere ever. Not that I don't love Piper and Chelsea individually,
It's
just
starting
not
to work. It's starting to cook a little more.
Okay, that's fine.
I love Chelsea Green. I'm sorry.
Listen, I think Chelsea Green's playing a terrific character. Unbelievable character is what she's doing. It's just the character's not conducive to a long-term WWE run at the top, okay? We have Roman Reigns, who's not going to lose the belt till Mania. I've said it before, I said it again. That's got to be the belt, the big streak that ends at Mania. We're going to find out next week who Gunther's next opponent was going to be. I think Gunther loses the belt in the next month. Rollins is, I think, okay, but we've got to be careful because I don't think we're going to lose 2 titles at Mania. Maybe we do. Maybe we do. Maybe both champions switch, but you have to also consider the 2 women's heavyweight championships as well. So that's 4 titles at Mania. Not all 4 titles are going to change hands.
I think Rollins is going to fall to the cash-in. I do. I think that the cash-in's got to happen, Jimmy. It's got to happen. They're not going to let the cash-in float between Rumble and Mania. I just don't believe. And I think we got all these weeks leading up to Rumble, as you talked about. I mentioned it last week when Chris and I were flying without you, and thank God that you're back. How much better is this episode already with you involved? My goodness. But
I think it was good.
We got to have something. We got to have something. And I could see it being a cash-in, and it's because of what you said, right? We just have too many other things happening. Seth's the working man angle, right? And that you can easily take a loss there, right? Because you just spin it like, look how many times this guy defended it. You know what I mean? It's amazing that he held the belt for 7 months, however long it'll be at that point, and he wrestled 1,077 times. Don't check me on that math, but I feel like it was about that many.
I think it was. That's about how many days are in a year, so that's okay. We have Cody Rhodes and Nakamura. I like that a lot. I think the back and forth here worked well, Chris. Did you know that Nakamura did win the Rumble and he did go to Mania and lost a very, very disappointing Vince McMahon match to AJ Styles?
No, I didn't know any of that backstory. I guess history does matter sometimes.
It does. In this case, it really does, Chris. I mean, you lived through most of it, so we should know that.
You know what that backstory made me think about, Jimmy?
Yeah.
It made me think about how excited I might be the next time when I hear the bass start to rumble a little bit, and then we hear the whoosh, they don't want none. Like the next time I hear it, I'm going to be pretty excited.
It might be this Friday. Hopefully it is. Nakamura and AJ Styles have a long history in New Japan, some terrific matches there, great rivalry. AJ Styles is part of the Bullet Club, and they did the gun shooting at their opponents. He did that to Nakamura. Nakamura grabbed the bullet, threw it in his mouth, and did a little shakedown. Thank goodness I'm not streaming this live right now, but really a lot of fun stuff in New Japan, and they had a Mania match that was fine. But then a low blow by Nakamura ended it, and people just deflated, and it really was stupid. Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler. Hey, you know what? Pretty good. For these two, pretty good. Too long. Pretty good. Shayna Baszler got beat by Nia. Nia and Becky are going to go at it, and whoever's going to come out on that's going to get Rhea. I think it's going to be Nia and Rhea at the Rumble, and then hopefully Becky and Rhea at Mania. And Rod threw up in his mouth a little bit, I think.
What did Becky Lynch do, Jimmy? Like, what did Becky Lynch do to deserve the fate that she has had to suffer through being on Raw and in the women's division for the last 4 to 5 months? I mean, it's just ridiculous. I understand. I've seen the famous footage of the man being born when she got punched by Nia Jax and she's all bloody. I've seen it. I still don't care. Okay. Here's the other problem. We did this in the beginning with kayfabe and a work and all of that coming up and Chris twisting us all around. Here's a problem with this particular match as well. We love Becky Lynch. Everyone loves Becky Lynch. She is basically a leprechaun. She's basically a leprechaun, okay? And Nia Jax is a mountain of a woman. How in the world are we going to tell a story where Becky Lynch is going to wipe the floor with the mountain of a woman, Nia Jax, and she's no bigger than the guy on your box of Lucky Charms? I just have a problem with it. Why are we even messing around with this, Jimmy? Please help me out.
Chris, why are we messing around with it? You tell her first.
I mean, you're messing around with it because Becky does well in ring work, and Nia Jax is only so-so. and you're trying to get Nia Jax over to be a type of wrestler that can hang with a Rhea Ripley. Because
Do
I
you
think
believe Becky Lynch could ever beat up Nia Jax, Chris? That's what I'm saying. Do you believe in a world that exists that Becky Lynch could ever beat up Nia Jax?
yeah, I know you can't count out the little guy all the time. Like I know it's more likely than not to happen, but the man can take a beating, and I'm sure she could probably take more of a beating than Nia Jax do. I do think Nia Jax wins this. I do think Nia Jax is the next one up for Rhea Ripley, and I think Rhea still wins that match too.
Jimmy, here's the problem with Nia Jax. The only way Nia Jax works is if she wipes the floor with Becky Lynch and then she wipes the floor with Rhea. None of us want to see that, and everybody's going to boo it, but that's the only way she works. You can't have it both ways with her, Jimmy. You've talked about it so many times before. It definitely came up with Braun Strowman, and I think he suffered from it. Where's Braun at right now? We don't know what to do with the Giants if we're not ready to make them the main attraction.
I think that's a very good point, Rod. I really do. And they do want to make her the main, I guess, foe for Rhea Ripley. They want to give the impression that Rhea Ripley cannot overcome Nia Jax. That's why Nia Jax kind of has to beat Becky Lynch pretty good. I mean, she really does. Do I believe that Becky Lynch could ever beat Nia Jax? When she got punched in the face by Nia Jax and she got the concussion and was forced out of her world title match when she was hot as hell, yes, I believe she would have killed her then. Now, I think there's a way you can make the storyline where she does win, but Nia, I think, has to win this one, though. I think Nia wins this one. I also think that we have a lot going on in the Morgan You Know universe, including our year-end awards that are going to come up in a couple weeks. We are going to have our categories announced next week on this show, and the week after, I believe that's when we're going to do it. We'll see. A week or two after, we will have a live stream of our award show, so then we can see how bad Chris's picks are. I'm very excited for this.
Oh, this is even news to me. I love this. I love it when news gets broken to me on the podcast about wrestling.
Oh, my
This is
show
awesome.
can do it.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. That this is the one show where I can be surprised and it's okay. I knew the Yeah We Knowies would be coming up, and I had actually planned on asking you about that when taping wrapped here. So wonderful that you brought it up there, Jimmy. We are also rounding near the playoffs. So if you are a big time football player, you need to be listening to our guy, Josh Williams. He's getting locked in. He's got
Really
a bunch of data. He's got a bunch of data going right now. He's got a couple of hot weeks together. I'm even getting locked in because the Cleveland Browns, baby, I gave you the Cleveland Browns at the beginning of the year. It doesn't matter who the Browns have at quarterback. They are somehow coming out on top on the AFC North. Check out more talk about that on Balls and Brew. Chris, come on. Everybody wants to hear Browns talk, right?
That's what the people are clamoring for, Rod. Browns.
And with that, you've been listening to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the Morgan You Know's podcasting network. In the ring with Jimmy, Rod, and Chris.
Goodbye, net. Yeah.